if Africa is over there and South America is over there, and it gives them their 3 survivors, temporary nonetheless, but survivors for 1,000 years after the shelf life of the lower half of the northern hemisphere expires. And when is that lower half to expire? Once the task of getting craft off the Earth, building a space station, and sending crafts out into the solar system, beyond the solar system to the Oort cloud. That means beyond Pluto. Guess what? This is it. There is a spacecraft on its way there. We have arrived at the end times. But in order to set the stage for everything that was to happen, they had to transfer knowledge of technology, much like you would by handing over manuals, to the Chinese and other Asians in the area. And the technology was worked out for everything that Marco Polo, following the Crusades, was then leased and brought back to the Medici, media here, Medici family in Florence, Italy, that began what we have called the Renaissance, the rebirth. And the rebirth is basically to bring people in the Western Hemisphere, northern area is what's involved, taking the technology from the East, transferring it to the West, putting it into practice and taking it to the level it had arrived at before, and going beyond that, both in the realm of skull and bones, developing the brain, developing the body, so that there would be task-specific machines clothed in the form of a human body to tackle each job that would need to be done at some time in the future. And that machine would have to be tan in color. And therefore, the names given to all the countries surrounding the Himalayas, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, all of the Istan names basically suggest that you have to use that as a guidepost, so that at one stage of the game you have to get away from the original color of the races and merge them into one color, which is preferably tan. The other use of the word Istan is if you turn it around and phonetically you make the words Nazi, saints, antes, all of which become useful as markers for the people on their side. So you have a group of people who are for things, and then you have the people who are antis. Republicans push certain ideas, Democrats go against it. The media sits in the middle and makes the population as a whole agree or disagree with either side. The Nazis can create war. The saints can stop wars. The code that I read through the encyclopedias, the dictionaries, the Shakespearean plays, operas, Walt Disney, medicine, the medicine we take is all drugs of one nature or another, and it is, medicine is for our body, but the cine part, the TV part, the movie part, all of the cine that comes out of California is linked to affecting the brain, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. So it's by using pictures that they're able to manufacture things. So the Caucasians were given this task out of a place called Persia, and the media would fall in between and watch over them. Now, prior to the technology transfer, you had to have a coming together of the people in the West and the people in the East, and the place chosen for that was Jerusalem, and the name given to the activity was crusade. Aid, ruse. The Crusades allowed St. Bernard to claim that a group of people was required in the Middle East to protect pilgrims to the home of Christianity. The same information is used by the protectors of Judaism as the home of the place where the builders of the Giza Plateau transferred the knowledge to out of Egypt and to Jerusalem, and is then used again by the Persians and their Islamic division, which translates to I am one, or ami, friends, so that a fight, ongoing fight, could take place in this place called Jerusalem as a cover to the transfer of technology out of the Far East through Persia and to the West, and the establishing of a compact or an agreement between all the players as to the rental fees payable for this activity. The rental fees had to be structured in such a way as the government would have an input, the corporations would have an input, and the media would have an input, each one taking out what you would call tithes, taxes, or fees.